Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. Welcome to this play-along guitar workout that goes along with the lesson that we did on how to play in drop D tuning on guitar, one of the best and easiest guitar tunings that you can play in other than standard tuning. So this is not a time for you to watch, this is a time for you to play along. There's a PDF that goes along with this, so make sure and download that. Pause the video if you need to, download that, and make sure you have that out in front of you as we go through this together. We're going to talk about improvising along the way. By the end of this, I want you to be able to experiment and improvise in drop D tuning and find some cool sounds of your own. That's the idea. All right, so let's first jump into it. Drop D tuning, let's just check our tuning here. There should be a high E. Let me check my tuning here. There's high E, first string E is normal. Second string B, just check it. Third string G, this is all normal standard tuning. Fourth string D. Fifth string A, and then sixth string should be down to low D. Usually it's at an E, but we've lowered it down a whole step to it's a D, so it should sound very low and growly like this. So if I play the D, E, and D together, oh man, it gets a great growly sound. All right, so that's what drop D tuning is. The only thing it is you take that sixth string and lower it a whole step down to a low D, and gets a really good sound, especially if you're working in the key of D, D major, which we're going to do in a lot, or also kind of a D blues you can do with drop D tuning as well. All right, so let's at first explore what's going on. Take a look at the first page of the PDF, and the first thing I want you to do is we've got our low D, D and A happening here, and we're just going to play a D major scale on the fourth string, okay? Don't watch me. You play along with me, okay? We're on the fourth string, and we're going to do just exactly what it says on that diagram on page 1. We're going to play up a D scale. Then we have E, 4th fret, F sharp. I don't care what finger you use. It doesn't matter. We're going to go up the neck, okay? So we're not playing it in one position. We're going up the neck. There's a G. At the 7th fret on the 4th string, that's an A. 9th fret on the 4th string, that's a B. 11th fret on the 4th string, that's a C sharp. D, remember in the key of D, we've got F sharps and C sharps. Hey, do that again, okay? Let's get you some practice on this. D, open D, 4th string open. 2nd fret, E. 4th fret, F sharp. We're just getting used to the notes in the key of D. 5th fret, G. 7th fret A, 2 more frets up. 9th fret B. 11th fret C sharp. 12th fret D. All right, now we're going to add those low strings. So we've got our low D, we've got our low A happening, and we're just going to go through that scale again. You ready? Oh, all 3 low strings. Then 2nd fret E. 4th fret F sharp. G. A up at the 7th, B at the 9th, C sharp at the 11th. There you go. All right, we're going to do that one more time, and I want you to kind of alternate. Something like that, okay? So we're just going 6th string, 5th string, and then whatever the 4th string note is. 1, and ready, go. D, then E, then F sharp, G at the 5th, A at the 7th, B at the 9th, C sharp at the 11th, D. Hey, can you go back down? Stay on that D. Now we're going to go down just 1 step to C sharp, 2 steps down to B, 2 steps down to A, 2 steps down to G, 1 step down to F sharp, 2 steps down to E, open D. Now I'm doing a hybrid picking where I've got my pick between my thumb and my index finger because my fingernails broke right before we started filming, so I thought I'd do a hybrid picking. So both my thumb and my index finger, both nails broke. So I'm going to do use my hybrid picking with my with my pick between thumb and first, and then I'll use my other fingers there, my middle and my ring finger as well. All right, so we're doing the scale, okay? Now, we're gonna do that same thing. Now, I'm just gonna play a little drone, and I want you to experiment with the notes on that scale. Do them in different order, maybe. Maybe second, make up to the fourth, the G. Third. Now, you don't have to play what I'm playing, just play anything on that scale. Add those lower notes. You're doing great. We'll just do that again. Maybe start on the... Experiment on your own. I'm just giving you a little drone here. Good job, good job. We're expanding your horizon, trying to get you to improvise a little bit. That's one thing we could do. Hey, let's do one more while we're there. Let's do one more. You can maybe hammer on these notes. Maybe you can go from the open D, hammer on to the different notes. Just try that. The D to the E. I'm hammering on to these different notes. Maybe I could hammer on to the 5th fret G. Up to the A. Hey, maybe I can pull off. Maybe I can hammer on and pull off. You practice that, do that with me. So I'm hammering on, and then I'm pulling off, back down to that open D. Maybe up to the B, maybe up to C sharp, maybe up to the D. Maybe I can hammer on 2 notes. Just adjacent notes. You don't have to do what I'm doing, just pick 2 notes and try hammering on from the open D to the whatever note you've chosen and its next door neighbor. Let's get our drone going again. You experiment with the Hammerons and Pulloffs. Going from the 2nd, 3rd. Kind of pulling off to that open D. Some of them are going to sound better than others. As long as you stay within the scale, it should work. There you go. Okay. Hey, different ideas. You don't even need to get real complex. If that's as far as you go, that's great. You can get a lot of good creativity just doing that stuff. Just make up your own melody. Make up your own melody. Just find a little part of it that you like, that works for you. Maybe you can slide up and down the notes. All right. So we've done that on the 4th string. Let's do exactly the same thing on the 2nd string. So we're going to start on the D. This time we're going to have a put your 3rd finger, or I don't care which finger you use, but it's at the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. There's a D right there. And so we're going to go up the scale an octave up now on the 2nd string. So not on the 4th string, but we're on the 2nd string. So you do this with me. Let's go up and down just like we did before. Starts on the D. You go 2 frets up to the 5th fret. We're on the 2nd string now. Go up 2 more frets. Go up 1 fret. This would be the 8th fret. Go up 2 frets. The 10th. 12th fret. There's usually a double dot there on your guitar. 2 more frets, the 14th fret, and then right at the 15th, we've got the D. Okay? Do that for me one more time. Hey, maybe you can add the 4th string D with it. Go back and forth between the 4th string, open D, and whatever note of the scale we're doing. So we're going to start with this first. We're just going to get these going. Go middle D, upper D, middle D, upper D. You do that with me. Okay, now let's move to the next note. 2 frets up. 2 frets up, next note. You're doing great. Only 1 fret up here. What? 2 frets up. 2 frets up. 2 frets up. One fret up. Hey, we got that high G in there. I wonder what that would sound like if I have a D and a G going, and I have my scale. So we're going to go back down here. We're going to do that same scale up again, but it's going to sound a little different because I'm putting the G in there. So it's going to sound like we're in the key of G, but we're using D major scale notes. Let's hear how it sounds. I'll get it going. Try and play I'm just playing the open D, the open G, and then this D scale we're going up. I'll just get it going. Try and play those other strings if you can. If you can. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, now go up to the 5th fret. Go up to the 7th fret. Eighth fret. Doing great. Let's go to the 10th fret. Twelfth fret. 14th fret. 15th fret kind of gives it an interesting sound. Okay, so we've got that going now. And I'm going to play a little drone down here. Just D, A, D. I got my first finger on the, or an A, and then first finger on D here. And I want you to experiment around with the notes in that scale. Remember, we can hammer on between the neighbor notes. We can hammer off, or we can hammer on from the B. You try that. So I'm playing the 4th string open D, 2nd string open B, and then I'm going to hammer onto this 3rd fret D. Kind of sounds almost Celtic, doesn't it? What if I did hammer on to the E here? What if I did the F sharp here at the 7th fret? Maybe I can hammer on, hammer off. Okay, so I'm going to get a little drone going, and you just experiment with that for a second. 2, 3, 4. You can get a hammer on. Maybe I can go strings. So suddenly with the opening D tuning, just kind of alternate between these low 6th string, the 5th string, and the 4th string. Sometimes this droning, this is what this is called when I'm just kind of going back and forth between one note. You can create lots of good melodies just doing that. An idea, okay? If I look at the next one, this is the top of page 2. Now I'm going to add a 3rd to that. So your finger combinations are only going to be your 2nd finger on this 2nd string, 3rd fret D, 1st finger on the F sharp there on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. So we're going to go through a bunch of different finger patterns, but they're only going to be either a 2-in-1 or a 3-in-1, and it's just wherever we place them, 2-in-1 or a 3-in-1. Okay. So there's the 2-in-1. So let's just work our way up the scale. So if I go up 1 fret and do a 3-in-1, okay, do you see what I'm doing? I'm just playing the last 2 strings. Go up 2 frets, same thing, 3-in-1. Okay, then let's go back to 2-in-1, go up 2 frets and do 2-in-1. Go up 2 frets and do 2-in-1. Go up 1 fret and do 3-in-1. Go up 2 frets for 3-in-1. And then back to 2-in-1. So if you'll notice, it's either, it's each one of them is a pair, so you have 2-in-1, and then you have 2 3-in-1s, then 2 2-in-1s, and then 2 3-in-1s, and then a 2-in-1. So they're all pairs except for the first and last one are just single ones. Okay, so I'm gonna get the drone going again. Start with a 2-in-1 down here at the 2nd fret. Just play whatever combination you want. Go up 1 fret and do a 3-in-1. Two more frets, do a 3-in-1. Two frets, do a 2-in-1. Two more frets, do a 2-in-1. Just 1 fret and do a 3-in-1. Two more frets, 3-in-1. Two more frets and do a 2-in-1. So just experimenting with them now. Going between whichever ones you want to go to. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. Just find your own melody. A couple more times. Come on, lean into it. Come on. Create something. I can get a computer to play the right notes. I'm not looking for the right notes. I'm looking for something to be expressed. And I can't get a computer to do that. Something that comes out of you musically. I can go down or I can go up. The world needs more music makers and less note players. But Steve, that sounds so simple. Sometimes it can be beautiful. Simple can be beautiful. Okay, and all I'm doing, I've got my open D, open A, open D, and we're going in the thirds there, and I'm noodling around there. Okay. There's a couple other examples. I take you through some different things here. We could do it in sixth on page 2. We take it in sixth. I do chords. All of these are outlined on page 2. All kinds of things like that. So, but I just wanted to introduce you to that. Find a note. And start moving things around. You'll be amazed at the music that can come out of just simple things like that. All right, so let's get into some chords. I don't want to go through the notes too much. We did that too. We did it last time. Let's get into the chords. Now, we talked about it last time, and I don't have it written down because there's just nothing to write down. Let's do power chords. Let me show you how easy power chords are in drop D tuning. You ready? You got a finger? That's all you need, one finger, okay? So if I just play, you'll notice I've got a root, a fifth, and a root right there in just open strings on the 6th, 5th, and 4th. So if I put my first finger and I just bar maybe completely at the 3rd fret, that would be the equivalent of an F, a C, and an F, root, 5th, root. Power chord. So instead of doing a normal power chord shape like this, since that 6th string has moved now in its pitch, it's just one finger. That's why, let's go up to the 5th fret and do the same thing. Lowest 3 strings. Back to 3rd, back to 5th, open. Oh, let's see, it's starting to sound a little Delta bluesy. Let's get that going. So we have this, then go to the 3rd fret, bar all 3, just the bottom 3 strings. Maybe up to the 5th fret. That would be a G power chord. If I go 2 more frets, that would be an A power chord. So you see how it's nothing, it's just one finger. That's why a lot of folks, they'll use a slide. You can use a slide real good in these drop D tunings because a lot of them occur on the same fret. So if I get a little groove going, so let me get the groove going. You just play that 3rd fret. Then back to open. Go to 3rd again. Go to 5th. Back to open. 3rd. 5th. Maybe back down to 3rd. Try sliding up to 5th. Back to 3rd, slide. Slide up to 5th. See, I'm just going back to open. What was all that? Hey, it's just a harmonic. But it sounds a little different because we've got that low D in there. So that's power chords. If you notice, the D and the 4th string D are octaves. So the 6th string and the 5th string, or excuse me, the 6th string and the 4th string are octave. So even I can, if I just played my 2nd finger and my 3rd finger there, it's octave, so I can move parallel. Little things that we aren't normally able to do on guitar. So that's how power chords work. So if you don't know a G, you can just do a power chord. If you don't know an A, you can just go up to 7th fret and play a power chord. All right, but full chords sound great too. So here are some of my favorite drop D chord voicings on page 3. Let's just go through a few of these. Look at that first D. It's a regular D chord. Everybody knows it, but we're gonna add this open D, open A, and low D to it. Oh man. Get that going. Hear that good low growl? That's what makes this so great. Usually on a song in D, I would just be on the upper notes. I don't have any lower notes. But now in drop D tuning, I do. Hey, look at the next one, a D with an F sharp. So what's it saying here? On the 4th fret, I'm gonna put on the 6th string, my 3rd finger. I've got an open D. I'm gonna kind of mute out that 5th string. See that X there? Gonna open, and then 1st finger. It's a D with an F sharp in the bass. What about the E minor 7th next to it? Try and form that one. I've got a 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 6th string, muting out the 5th again. Open D, open G, 3rd finger D, 3rd finger high G. Nice little sounding chord. Let's get the strumming going. Okay, we're gonna go back to the original D, the first D. Go back to the D. Let's go back to the E minor 7th. 1, 2, E minor 7th, go. Hey, what did I do there? I just hammered on my 1st finger. Sometimes you can get a little motion by just wobbling around on a couple of... What if I did a hammer on with my pinky? What if I did my 3rd and my 4th finger? Some of them work, some of them doesn't work. Look at that next one. A G. In fact, go down to the 2nd line and let's do Sharon Tiano's full G. 2nd line, 1st chord. I've got my 3rd fret on, 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 6th string. I'm muting out that 5th string again. Then I have open, 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 and then my 1st finger is going to be on the 1st string at the 3rd fret. Hey, regular old G chord. Get that strumming going. Good, stay there. Hey, while we're right there, just pause, keep your hands right there, Put your 2nd finger down on the 4th string. 2nd finger on the 4th string, 4th fret. That's a G major 7th. Take that 2nd finger off, you're back to a G. Put that 2nd finger back on, G major 7th. Very pretty sounding chord. You're at the 3rd position. Take it off. We're gonna jump back to the original D. The 1st chord D. Ready, go. Hey, let's move some fingers around. So I'm going to take your 1st finger, take it off, take your 1st finger off, put it back on. 1st finger off, back on. Hammer it on real quick. Okay, here's a tricky one. Your 2nd finger, which is currently on the 1st string, take him off. Okay, you got that? It's a little trickier move. Okay, now add the 2nd finger back on. It's kind of like Twister for your fingers. Gotta keep everything else going. 2nd finger off, on, 2nd finger off, on. Let's take the 1st finger off and on. First finger off, on. First finger off, on. Second finger off and on. Off, ready, go. Hey, while we're right here, put your pinky down on the third string. Third fret, sorry. And then back to a normal D. Lots of good things. Lots of good variations there. Let me show you one more. Look at the G7th, second line, second chord. We got a little bit of a bar here. So I got my third finger on the fifth fret of the sixth string. Then I'm gonna bar on the third fret with my first finger over the fourth, second, and third string. And then I'm gonna put, that's a G minor if you wanted that. But if I put my second finger down on the third string at the fourth fret, I get a G7th. I can go down to just the second string, or I could bar all the way to the first if I wanted to. But here's the deal. These are basically normal voicings, like that G and this G7th. That's basically, you know, what would be a normal G7th like that. Why play normal? Here's how I think. Why play? I'm in drop D. Why try to fake a standard tuning chord in drop D? Why don't you try and play something that you can only do in drop D? So that's why some of the other chord forms are a little bit better fit. Okay, there you go. Those are some of the chords that we've gotten into. Now, let's go down to the next thing there, and we've got the Everlong by the Foo Fighters. I don't want to do this because we did too much of that. We did a lot of that last night, but let me just show you the chord forms, and then I want to move on to some other things here. So take a look at that first chord form. It's at the 9th fret. I've got my first finger on the 5th string at the 9th fret. Third finger on the 4th string at the 11th fret. And I'm playing the low, all of these I'm just playing the bottom 3 strings. So you end up with this sort of a combination. That's the first chord, kind of a D major 7th sort of a sound. But it sounds real open because there's no, some of the chord tones are missing. Kind of a cool sound. Okay, now we're gonna take that first finger, which is already there, and we're just gonna bar him up on the 6th string. So that would be a B power chord if you want to think about that, but with the third finger that added, it gets the second. Okay, go back to the original chord without the bar. Put the bar back on. Take it off. Put that bar back on. Okay, now we're going to move this entire thing, this entire shape down to the 5th fret. So now I'm at the 5th fret. Then let's move it back up to the 9th where we were. Excuse me. That's all the moves. This chord, this chord, this chord, and then back. Now, I put the rhythm down there. There's 2 basic rhythm patterns that it's going. Don't freak out. I put little X's for the note heads on it. As Dave Grohl was explaining it, of how he played this, he's kind of thinking like a drummer, because he plays drums. He's kind of thinking like a drummer, and so it's just a pattern that's like low, low, high, low, high, low, high, and so it's just dancing between low and high. So if I did that, so I'm hitting the lower strings for the lower X's, and the upper strings, I'm kind of emphasizing those for the higher ones. So if I look at that pattern, I don't want to get too lost in this, but look what it's telling you to do. Low, low, high, low, high, high, low, high, low, low, high, low, high, high, high. Wow, see, that's a lot of lows and highs. Hey, you just need to do it in about another 20 times and you'll get it, okay? So don't give up on things that take more than twice to do, okay? once I get that little rhythm 1 done, the second rhythm is just low, low, high, high, low, low, high, high. That one's easy. That one's easy. The first one's a little bit more complicated. Or some close facsimile to it. Okay, so using those rhythms and the first rhythm goes for the first 4 bars. The second rhythm we do for the last 3 bars. Okay, so we're just gonna do that one time through. Then I want to show you these blues licks that we've got going. So we're gonna go super slow using rhythm 1 and then rhythm 2. So let's get it going on this our first chord here. We're gonna go super slow. 1 and 2 and ready, low first, low. Now we change chords, add the bar. Slide down to the 5th, and we're gonna do the bom bom gaga, bom bom gaga. Ready, go. Then back up to the 9th. Do it again, back to the D major 7th at the beginning, the other pattern. Bar. The other pattern, the alternating pattern, back up to the B. A little bit faster. Rhythm 1. Bar. Back and forth pattern. One more time, a little faster. Now, I know it's probably a little fast for you to keep up with, but that's a little something to spur you on. Hey, flip the next page. Let's get to these drop D's blues licks. Here's some fun stuff as we close out this workout. Can you hang with me for 5 more minutes while I teach you a blues lick? Look at that first lick there. Okay, using only, it's top of page 4, using only your 3rd finger, I'm gonna go from 3rd finger to open. Don't worry about the pull-offs just yet. 3rd finger open, just do that. And then on the 5th string, do the same thing, 3rd finger open. Okay, and then on the 6th string, I hit my 3rd finger, but this time I don't go open. I'm gonna kind of bend that 3rd fret, but I can't bend up because then it bends off the neck. So I'm gonna bend down, which is strange to bend down. That's the move. Now you can't bend up because you go off the neck. And then pop off to the low D. Just try that move a little bit. I know it sounds a little nasty by itself, but you put that in context, that's gonna be sweet. Hit it, bend it, pull it off. All right, so let's do the whole lick. It's 3rd finger, pulling off to open string. Then I do the same thing on the 5th string. Bend up, and then off. If I add that all together, it turns into. Just try and do that. I'll slow it down. 2, ready, go. I'm just doing a little drone up here. 2, go. Now let me show you what you can do with that lick. So I'm not adding the 3rd, I'm just kind of having a D chord without the 2nd finger. Maybe I can play a little. Maybe I can come on off and on with my 1st finger. Then throw in the lick, 2, lick, here. Let's slow it down a little bit. Hammer on that first finger. Lick, go. Add the lick here. Maybe we can do some bar chords. Some power chords from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret. Throw some power chords in there. Hey, it's time to do the lick. Oh, come on. You could make a country song out of that. Throw some bar chords in. Or power chords, sorry. Hey, look at the next lick. This is the last thing we'll do tonight. Look at that next lick. It's the same variation of this. I'm just adding a few more notes. So I go 3rd finger, 2nd finger on the E, D. So I just down the scale down to that, pulling off from the, after the E, D. Hit the C. And then I have a open hammer on, pull off, just like we did earlier. Pull off from the C to the A. I hit the open and bend up. Okay, so you have, oh, come on, right there. So that's that lick. The little arrow that's going up over that one note, that's showing that you're bending there. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna get my little drone going, and I want you to experiment with adding the beginner lick or the advanced lick, whichever one, or just notes around that lick. I'm just going 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 2nd finger off, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 3rd finger off. I can basically do anything like that and it'll work. So let me get my drone going. Every now and then throw in your lick. Get that first finger going. A little power chords. Steve, what was all that? I don't know. I'm noodling around on that. I'm just noodling around on those notes. Open, 2nd, and 3rd. The key is just you have to end on the... It's kind of like the period on the end of your blues sentence there. If you want to add some other chords to it, maybe I could do maybe an F, F2, maybe to a C. Back to my drone. Come on, you don't listen to me. You play. Just make up a little rhythm. Oh, I'm just hammering on that first finger. And every now and then you throw in the lick. Maybe some power chords. Okay, there you go. There you go. I hope you have enjoyed this workout. Experiment with your own licks and ideas. Immediately turn this video off and try and find these little ideas of the concepts that we talked about, and I guarantee you're going to be playing a little bit more in drop D tuning. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Get that creativity out of you and start exploring on your guitar. So, hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. Keep up the great work in your learning, and we'll see you next time.